supposed to take the lens cap off the camera? Oh shit, who's burping, bro? Who is that? Who's burping? Oh my god. Hey, what's up? Maybe chat doesn't work today. I don't know. I've been trying to get it to work. I don't know. It won't work. It won't work from the start screen. Maybe it'll work from here. Do we have to completely like eliminate the Do we have to eliminate the chat widget again and then reinstall it? Fuck is making noise back here? Oh, something's making noise back there. We'll probably figure it out during the stream. Why chat is not working again? Let's try this. Let's see if that works. Let's close this. Fucking A, that did it. Look at that. Natural born button pusher around here. Ya boy. Back on a Monday, specifically September 8th, 2025. The year of our Lord, the fish god. The giant koi fish. What's up? The year of the giant koi fish. What are y'all doing today? Chat is on strike. Chat is not on strike. It was the widget. The widget that displays the chat was malfunctioning. Because once again, the software required an update. And then whenever you update, you have to reauthorize all of your software to two-factor authenticate that that you are who you say you are. You know how it is. We just living in this world, and we just attempting to adapt to this world. Speaking of that, we got the green room open. Oh, I'm just reading a long message. Okay. Sometimes I have to read a long message because I get them and then I get distracted. And I'm like, oh, I should read this long message. And we'll go back to here. We have the green room open today on Discord in case anybody needs to pop in. Wait, what? Just let me go. Fuck. Just let me go in here. There. All right. We have the green room open. In case anybody wants to call in, you can. If you have access to our Discord, you can. That is. If you're just some weirdo sitting out in Indiana or Missouri or South Dakota, you're going to need to become a member. You're going to have to do it. That's a double poop emoji from Bare Bottom there. Double poop. And then a rock on. A rock, I don't know. What do we call that now? They used to call them the devil horns when I was a kid. What's the name for them now? You guys will have to tell me. What do they call that now? I'm getting 40,000 emails now. From some straight up bullshit. Somehow they got my email last week. I don't know how they got my email, but they did. They got my email. I'm gonna have to go through and just ban all these email addresses because we don't like it. We don't like all this email. How many emails do I have unread? The other day there was a competition. Somebody had a competition. This email itself, this email address that I'm looking at, this email inbox, has 7,109 unread emails. What about this one over here? Oh, I think this one only tells you if you're on your phone. Where would it be? Do. I don't even know. This one doesn't give you. This one doesn't give one. Oh no, here it is. 16,493 unread. Look at that. And this one has a long list of automatic foldered email folders. Look at that. So who knows what's going on with those? Chat is on strike. The chatters are not on strike, though. I'm a weirdo. I have an Oscar now. Trying not to get attached as I'm just trying to grow it a bit before taking him back to work. Oscars are really like endearing fish, but they're just realistically, like, they're just a pain to take care of. Not from the standpoint of like feeding or water changes necessarily or whatnot, but it's well, I have to have a tank for them, which is annoying. It's annoying to have any fish that just gets their own big ass house. I will say that was even an annoying thing about Puffy when he was with us before his death. It was annoying to have a tank that's like, well, you know, I really got to think about the fact that there's a Puffy in there and he will eat anyone or whatever, you know. Oh my God, we have a caller. Why is there a caller here today?
Because it's Monday.
Because it's Sunday?
Monday. Better not be Sunday.
Is today Sunday?
Yes.
I thought yesterday was... I'm going to be honest with you.
Day.
I thought yesterday was Saturday all day. Couldn't wrap my mind around it. I missed a meeting I was supposed to go to last night because I thought it was Saturday and not Sunday.
Okay, well, that's a problem.
Alyssa says, yeah, he's just in a 20 right now on a shared sump connected to my other Central American cichlids. Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, the big downside with the Oscars is they get big, so they even need a big tank. What fish am I thinking about right now? Can you guess, Witchy Cat?
Pachu. I don't know. What are you thinking of?
Did you say Pacu?
I did.
No, that's close though.
Okay.
Parachromis dovii, otherwise known as the wolf cichlid. These guys right here.
Yeah. I would not have gotten to that.
These guys are really cool. These guys are awesome. Really cool fish. Same problem though. Same problem with these boys. You can get a pair of these in a tank, and by the way, they will breed like crazy. But then you can't put any plants in there. You can't put anything else in there that fits in their mouth. And they also breed like crazy, but very cool fish and very personable too. But yeah, basically a bummer that you have to just have this sort of bare ass tank and not a lot else going on. As you guys know, me loves me plants, and me can't has me plants with a bunch of cichlids that are going to dig them up and create themselves a burrowing area to get ready for breeding. It's basically all they're doing. They're just getting ready to bone. I can respect the breeding aspect. I can respect that though.
If you're going to spend your life doing anything, that does seem illogical.
I mean, it seems like if you're going to spend the entirety of your life and your days and everything like doing a thing, you might as well just get ready to bone,
Pretty much.
Take it to Bone Town, as it were. I do love working with pepper trees, though. LOL, they smell so good.
This must be D-Rock.
Yeah, D-Rock. I'm trimming pepper trees in one of the parks I take care of. Peppers grow so fast I have to skirt and thin them out every other month or so. Yeah, that's because you're in California, my guy. If you put them up here, they have probs. They have probs. You know what I mean? Problems. They end up being probs, I posted my koi on the thumbnail today. One of the reasons I posted that, I've been getting fairly excited about the prospect of I got approval for building a koi pond here per request from my spouse because how much Olivia likes ponds. So has nothing to do with my personal preference. Has nothing to do with Vicky's personal preference. Has everything to do with catering to our child. And it just happens to coincide with something that I'm into.
Will there be turtles involved?
No, there won't be turtles. Nope.
Okay.
Why would I put turtles out in the cold? Why would I do that?
Well, there are turtles native to Western Washington.
What are you, vicious?
Yes, I am viscous.
Are you a vicious animal? Are you crazed?
I am.
What are our local turtles native to Western Washington? Let's take a look, because I'm not aware of any. It's certainly possible.
I was shocked that there are turtles native to this side. Eastern brown turtles.
I know that east of the mountains has them.
Yeah. They have them west. They found the first alligator snapping turtle out of Lake Union recently.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, no, somebody has definitely been doing the dumpity dump dump.
Okay, overall there are 9 species of turtles in Washington State. Only 2 of these types are native. Okay. So we have 9. Okay, so my assumption was that all of the turtles were just not native. So it turns out there are actually two, so we'll find out. Western painted turtles are fairly widespread across Washington state. Western painted turtles are the largest subspecies of painted turtle and can be found in most types of freshwater throughout their range. Why don't you tell us if they're native or not? Tells you the average price range, but they don't tell you if they are, which ones are the native.
It does say native under mine, under the one I'm reading, but I could be wrong.
I don't know what you're reading, but I'm literally talking about what I'm reading. I can't see what you're reading because I don't have that feature yet.
Ah, sorry.
I haven't upgraded to being able to see through your eyes. I'm working on it.
Well,
I don't have enough money. We need lots of super chats. If you guys want me to make the bionic upgrade, I need to be able to pay for it. These fucking data chips and shit aren't cheap, is what I'm saying. So this website sucks butts. It tells you there's two. Should I leave him a message?
Washington Department of Wildlife says that they are native.
Write your comment. Write your comment. Should I write my comment?
And yes, you should. And they're one of the two that aren't endangered. The other one is endangered.
Oh, I got allturtles.com instead of Western Washington. There we go. Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, the actual real one. Yeah, so the painted turtle is in the Methil Valley. That's Eastern Washington. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if there's a Western Washington one.
Says that the Western are not suitable habitat. Although it gets colder over here in the winter.
Yeah, they burrow down. They burrow down though.
Yeah.
They burrow into the subsoil and then just sitting there until it gets hot out again.
The northwestern pond turtle.
Okay, species observations were made in Western Washington prior to 2006, and then 2006 to 2016. Since then, not so good. It's gotten less and less and less. So, painted turtles have been documented in Washington, in all Washington ecoregions, but most occurrences are at the lower elevations of eastern Washington, the Columbia Gorge, and the Puget Trough. Species was likely introduced to the Puget Sound region as the earliest records in Marysville, 1958, Bigelow Lake, 1960, and Ravenna Park, 1967, are relatively recent and associated with urban and residential areas. Today, the species is well distributed throughout the Puget Sound region. Elsewhere in Washington, painted turtles are likely native. So, yeah, this was my guess. This is was my take on being from Washington. Eastern Washington had turtles, and I almost guarantee you, people went over there and caught turtles and then brought them back to this side. So the actual captures on this side are less and less. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 36 prior to 2006 of instances of the painted turtle, and then 2006 to 2016, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it dropped by that much in the less than 10-year period. Observations have decreased. Crazy. Yeah, so where I live, there isn't really one that's supposed to be outside. And even if you are in Eastern Washington, they're going to hibernate. They got to go dig down in some dirt. So it's really not going to work for an outdoor pond. And then people go like, well, why don't you bring them inside? And then I go, well, yet again, we'll return to the earlier conversation about how weird it is to have an Oscar, is because you have to have a dedicated tank for it. You know, you have to have this dedicated situation for this individual creature. And believe you me, I already have dedicated situations for individual creatures. That's why I kind of bring it up. We got chickens that I got to build a new coop for, and I'm questionable about whether I'm going to even film it for YouTube or not. I don't know. I'm sort of torn. What do you think, Witchy Cat? Should I film it for you guys and then never be able to edit it?
Do you want to add it to your current backload?
I mean, I guess. I mean, at some point, my legs at some point my legs are probably going to get run over by a fucking steamroller or something, like in Roadrunner, like a Roadrunner cartoon. And then I'll just be like stuck, and then I'll be able to edit because I'll be like, well, I can't work. My legs are flat.
Right. Is somebody going to come along and just peel you off the pavement at that point?
Yeah. How does that go? Doesn't he normally, like, he springs up and like bows up, right?
Right. Or he peels himself up from with his hands somehow, and then goes boing and reinflates or whatever it is. But
well, that was interesting. Hold on, I'll show you. I'll show you here. This one doesn't seem to make much sense, and I don't really remember it this way, but I really doubt that somebody reanimated this. But then he's like, he just crouches down, and then he gets rolled over, but then he just pops straight up and then walks away flat. So I'm not 100% sure if that's how he did it every time, but it'll probably be something like that, I would guess. Yeah. Having seen somebody get their foot cut off by being run over by a forklift once, I don't know. It doesn't actually happen like that.
Oh, shut up.
Huh? What?
Nothing. You're YouTube talking. So
who are you yelling at?
I was telling your YouTube self to shut up.
Oh, I just don't even know what's happening. You suddenly get sidebarred and then start shouting at ghosts. I love it.
Not shout.
People always want to get turtles for the pond and are shocked when I tell them they totally can if they are prepared to make an unclimbable and untenable wall around the pond. Yes, actually, that is a big deal. They climb. They're not like a prolific monkey style climber, but they are determined. They're very determined about climbing out of enclosures. They do the slow and steady, just like my ex. Right?
That's what she.
Yeah, that's what she said. Hey, oh. Yeah, they do a slow and steady to get out of it, whatever you put them in. It doesn't really matter what you put them in. They're like, I want out. You know. They're not content with being in an enclosure, is the point, generally. I mean, they might tolerate it, but they're not content. They're not like, oh, word, I'm just in here. Because the moment that they can climb out of something, they'll go for it. They're like, shit, there might be Scooby snacks over there. I'm going to go check it out. To the detriment of my health, I'm going to go check it out.
I'm going to fall off the top of this wall once I get there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, like, because they live in a shell their entire lives, like, they have a... Like, if you could speak turtle, like, maybe they're, like, super overconfident short man syndrome. I wonder if that's their personality, right?
I guess when you live with such a large part of your skeleton exposed, you do kind of... Huh.
I'm wondering if that was their personality, you know what I mean? Like, they're just like the raging short man complex. But maybe it goes a different way. Maybe they're just sort of derpy, if you could speak turtle, you know? if you could speak turtle, maybe they're just super derpy and they just like having snacks. You know, who knows? It's hard to say. Their eyes, they have dead eyes. They have some fucking dead ass eyes. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say exactly what's happening in their personality. Although I did, somebody mentioned this. Dogs have. Somebody was talking about this during a podcast of some sort I was listening to, and then I went to go look it up, and this is hilarious. A 2019 study in the Journal of Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences, the POTNAOS. I bet there's an acronym for it. Found the dogs evolved an eyebrow-raising muscle, the levator anguilli oculi medialis, to create puppy dog eyes, a facial expression that elicits a nurturing response from humans. This muscle is largely absent in the wild wolf ancestors, but prominent in domestic dogs, suggesting that this facial anatomical difference was a result of selective pressure from human domestication over the past 33,000 years. Now, if you're a religious fucking freak, you won't believe this because the domestication was over 33,000 years, and you think the planet's 6,000 years old. So, get bent, stupid dummies. Anyhow, something's making a noise back here. I'm going to figure out what it is.
Hey, you should do that.
Oh, fucking shit. You namey motherfucker.
Well, that seemed calm.
Fuck! I'm just kidding.
Okay, sure, yeah.
No, my reactor was overfilled with gas. CO2 gas. CO2 gas had filled up my reactor and was making noise, which means I should probably adjust it down. But instead, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it up, you fucking bitches. I'm going to see if I can get this water pH to fucking 4.2.
Okay.
What's it at right now? Hold on, let me check.
Uh-oh. Time for a TDS check. Come on, do it.
pH is raised to 7.4 because I did a water change earlier. Sweating. Did you ever see the video of the turtle that was climbing a telephone pole? I have seen that. Let's see if we can find it. Turtle climbing a telephone pole. Pole. That's what she said. Oh my God. Let's see if we got it.
Glad we got that now.
Pole.
Twice. Pole.
Pole. That's what she said.
Not gonna ask which of us.
There's a turtle all the way up there. Although he seems like he's bright white, so maybe it's just a scam. Who knows? I recall it being not bright white like that. Yeah, I don't know why it's bright white. It's weird. All right. But, yeah, I don't know. It's making me wonder now. It's making me wonder if, like, is it just a turtle-shaped object that's bright white? Why is it so white? Looks porcelain. I don't know. Now I'm questioning it. Now I'm questioning everything. Can't believe anything anymore, right? But I do believe this study from 2019 that the dog's eyebrows are now eyebrowing. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do not deny it.
You don't deny it?
No, they are the most expressive eyebrowed animals ever.
Okay, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America is abbreviated by the PNAS.
I'm sure as well it should be.
PNAS. That's how they abbreviate it right here on their website. It's the PNAS. Fucking hot. That's what she said, right? Got him.
Thanks. She's
fucking,
quite the chat.
Fucking got him. PNAS.org is verifying I'm a human. Nope, I'm a robot that clicks boxes.
I was gonna say.
Why do people use this Cloudflare bullshit? Why? Why do that? Why do that? Do you think the AI chatbot that can make an image of a koi crashing into the fucking federal building? I can't even think of what it's called right now. Do you think that can't move a cursor over and click a box? Like, what is the point of this Cloudflare bullshit?
It also cannot choose 3 cards in a series of 9 photos that change at random.
Yeah, so anyhow, I heard about this study, and then I went and read this and looked through this. Where I'm trying to find the part. The main finding is the facial musculature between domestic dogs and gray wolves was relatively uniform and deferred only around the eye, while the levator anguli oculi medialis muscle, the LAOM, the loam, was routinely present in dogs. In the gray wolves, it was typically represented only by scant muscle fibers surrounded by a high quantity of connective tissue. In the wolves, a tendon was sometimes observed that blended with the medial aspect of the fibers of the orbicularis oculi muscle near the region where this is a mistake right here, where an loam would normally be. Thus, wolves have less ability to raise the inner corner of their brows, independent of eye squinting relaxation. And then here's the image right here, which actually shows you kind of the connective tissue, musculature. There we go. That dogs have that wolves do not have present at all, which is just another great study revolving around basically evolution, is these two complete changes in muscularity compared dogs versus wolves, which is very, very cool. And also another sign that if you believe in God, you probably believe in Santa Claus. It's the same fucking bullshit, and you're dumb, and you're an idiot. So get out of your cult. Get out of it. Get out of there. People say I'm supposed to be nice. They say I'm supposed to be nice to the cult members because the cult members won't leave the cult if people aren't being nice to them. And I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Shame on you, cult members, you fucking losers. Absolute losers. They're the kind of people that like require somebody to say thank you for doing something nice. You know what I mean? They require thanks from like doing charity. You know what I mean?
Right.
They need an award. They need an award, right? They need a prize. Somebody has to give me a prize for being a nice person. Those kinds of people. Almost 3 years from the coffee cart member, Witchy Cat.
Somebody's got to serve this fucking coffee.
I won't argue. 35 is close to 36. I won't argue. That is close. Do we want to get back to just making content about aquariums and stuff? Yeah, probably we do, but we can't afford to because we're living in an authoritarian fucking takeover. Like, we don't have fucking time for it. But if people have questions about fish and stuff, I'm always happy to chat about it. But yeah. Honestly, after the time my turtle went missing and I eventually found him cold but alive in a bucket, I decided that any enclosure needs to be locked up like Fort Knox. Yes, that's very, very true. Although most turtles do have an ability to hibernate, I wouldn't be relying on it as a human pet owner. I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be relying on it to maintain their survival. It's not a good idea.
My issue with owning turtles and tortoises is the same as with owning the large tropical birds. I'm past middle aged. I don't need to own something that would have outlived me if I'd gotten it when I was 2.
It doesn't matter. You're gonna die anyway.
I know, but then who's going to care for the animal that I've taken in?
I'm gonna break a little news to you, Witchy Cat.
Yeah, no, but
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, somebody will or somebody won't. That's basically what it boils down to. It's like somebody will or somebody won't, but like no one would ever fault you for taking care of a bird for 60 years. You know what I mean? And then like, oh, you just fucking die before the bird dies. No, you just here's the deal. You did a good thing while you were alive, and it was a thing that you wanted to do, and you did it. That's all. That's all that needs to have happened. That's it. You just were doing a thing, and you were doing a good job while you were around for it, and then like, oh, well, you died. Okay, well.
I've spent the last 20 years trying to talk myself out of an African gray or a cockatoo, so maybe don't reinforce the you should do it aspect of things.
I mean, I'm going to reinforce anybody's ability to like do whatever the fuck you really want, as long as you're not like negatively affecting other people. And like, if you foster a pet for 10 years or something, like you're just doing a good thing. So who cares? Like, what? I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely off base and totally fucking, my brain's completely broken or whatever. But I don't think so. I just think most people aren't willing to vocalize just like, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's okay. Just do the thing or don't do the thing. It's all right. You know, I'm just never worried about those like insanely long-term shit that there's absolutely nothing you can do about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, you know, one of the reasons I am anti-Trump is because of long-term consequences for people outside of the realm of that have any ability to affect or disaffect themselves from the insane decisions that are being made by an individual person outside of the law, essentially. Just living absolutely lawless and in control of our governing body in the way that they are. It's insane. It's crazy.
Right. Totally agreed.
Alyssa says, Witchy Cat, you can just take on an old one. Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is that if you were going to do something like that, like just foster, you know what I mean? Like just foster a bird that somebody else was taking care of and died. Right?
Right.
And then you're just doing a good thing. I wouldn't support the idea of like bringing a baby parrot, paying somebody to like import it, and then being like, I'm 85 years old. I got this bird now. You know, I'm like, wait, what are you doing? That's just goofy. But
grays and cockatoos, at least grays, are frequently bred in the U.S. nowadays for the pet trade.
Right.
But yeah.
We've got a Catalina macaw we keep as the store pet who is almost as old as me. She bit the crap out of my finger the other day. Such a brat. Yeah, maybe that's why you guys own that bird now. Is that bird's name Bitey McBiteface? Because I would be into it if it was, because then it'd be like, hey, can I pet your bird? What's your bird's name? And you're like, Bitey McBiteface. And then when you get bit, you're like, I told you what you were getting into.
I don't know the varieties of macaws. I'll have to go look up.
Shouldn't have stuck your dirty digits over there by Bitey McBiteface. That's what happens.
Dirty digits bit dirt cheap.
Yeah. And the Thunder Chief. Ever tell you that story? It's a
No.
completely stupid story. It's pointless, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. So my buddy, when we were teenagers, he loved AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and shit because I don't know, he thought it was edgy to like old people music or whatever. I don't know. This is weird. It was a weird vibe.
I try not to accept the arrow to the heart that is old people music for those bands, but going on.
How old is Angus Young?
I don't know. Slightly older than I am. Late 60s, maybe. You don't need to fact check me. It's okay.
He's 70 years old.
I said late 60s. That wasn't far off. Okay.
Is that old? Is that not old people music?
No. He was an adult making music for me when I was 18. Go on.
Anyhow, Jimmy Page is 81 years old.
Okay.
Robert Plant is 77 years old.
Okay.
Right? I'm just saying, like, if you're supposed to retire, like, if you're a successful American and you're supposed to retire at 62 years old, that's, by the way, the age that you're supposed to retire. And you're 8 years past that, and I call those people old. And you're like, hey, like, well, I don't know. Then who's old now? You have to be over 80?
Now, I guess I was thinking of the music it was made for as being old, not the people making the music. So that was my perceptual difference. I apologize.
That's because you're Gen Z. Or you're Gen X. You're an old-ass Gen X boomer fuck. You fuck? You old fuck?
Shut up, motherfucker. Tell your story. Those are devil horns, by the way. So, yeah.
They're the devil horns. I just don't know what people say now. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of words I'm not supposed to say anymore, or I'm not lucid or whatever. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, I advocate for civil rights, and I advocate for all the, you know, for everyone at the bottom. I advocate for everyone that's being oppressed, right? And then it's like, you know, but you said a word. You said a word now, you know, and it's like I understandably like I get where the stupid ass conservative comedians are like so worried about the cancel culture thing or whatever. But none of those people were ever canceled. Like some people yelled at them and told them that they were being assholes, but them making money never skipped a beat. Like they didn't lose their job. You know what I mean? It's like. Show me a comedian that was, you know, making fun of queer people or something, and then they've made zero money after that, right? And it's like the most hardcore canceled fucking comedian was Bill Cosby, who was a rapist, who was convicted of being a rapist, right? And he got let out of prison again and is touring. Who is, by the way, also an old fuck.
He got let out of because he was too ill to be in prison, supposedly, but he can tour.
Nope. That's not why he was let out. He was let out on a procedural appeal. They appealed that some of the procedure in his conviction was incorrectly done, not because he was too old. They don't let you out just because you're too old. I'm trying to figure out. He was doing live events, but he also just returned to his home, his like fucking mansions and shit.
Just sickening.
Bill Cosby's $6.75 million New York townhouse. He also owns 2 other townhouses in New York and a big ass house in Pennsylvania, Yeah, and you're like, none of these people were ever canceled. It's just like you got some social pushback. Like some people told you were being an ass, right? And so it's like I get where they're coming from, but like the supposed consequences that they had is imagined, right? Alyssa Bentley says Paige and Plant are still alive. Dang. Yeah, actually they are, surprisingly enough. Let's listen to Jim Jeffries, Bill Cosby, and have a great laugh. Hello, everybody. Mickham. Yeah, I like Jim Jeffries. I like his stuff. I started to listen to his new hour the other day, but then I fell asleep on the couch because I was like, I don't know. It was like I got home at like 11:30 from work, and then I was like, I'm gonna sit on the couch and watch something so I can like wind down so I could go to sleep, and then I fell asleep after like 20 minutes. So no reviews for you guys on if it was good or not. But generally speaking, Jim Jeffries is pretty on point, so it's probably good all the way through. LOL, that's like when I was at the Tower of London and some teen kept poking at the Queen's ravens. Right when I was going to tell him to quit, one of the ravens bit the shit out of him. I just laughed. Yeah, I would not poke a raven if you're getting that close. You got to give him presents, you know? And that's how it works with me too. Don't get too close, you might get bit. His take on Cosby is funny AF. It's funny a fuck. Got it. I've probably heard it, but I'm just drawing a blank. You know what I mean? Oh my God, we just got an email that my payment has been posted. Oh, wonderful. There goes thousands of dollars. That's great. We love it. You get a notification that money just disappeared into outer space. Sometimes I call her Captain Bitey. That makes sense. I would call her Captain Bitey too. We got sidebarred from telling the awesome story. Anyhow, my buddy got all excited because he got AC/DC tickets. He went to the show, and amongst many other songs with misheard lyrics, one of them was Dirty Deeds and the Thunder Chief. And was singing it loudly, and mid-song realized that the other people singing in his very close proximity were singing Done Dirt Cheap, and had many epiphanous moments in the crowd of misheard lyrics, which is great. So what's happening in the Pacific Northwest? I don't know. What do you mean? Is there something going on? Is there something I should know about? Oh, I just got a text. Did something happen?
It is in fuego, Mickham, but other than that, pretty much standard.
It's been smoky AF, I'll tell you that. It has been decidedly smoky AF. There are currently, when I looked this up, there was 17 wildfires. How many wildfires in Washington State? There were 17 complex fires that were not being contained. There are 14 right now, so they must have put 3 of them out somehow. Leavenworth, Washington is basically about to get evacuated. Leavenworth is the Bavarian town in the mountains. So if you drive over Stevens Pass and you go to a town and you suddenly feel like you're in old-timey Germany, you're in Leavenworth. That's what's happening.
Normally this time you have to drive over tourists to get... Sorry.
It's hard to get in and out of there. It's a very busy town because people are there to experience the town,
Yep.
whether it's Oktoberfest or the Winterfest or the springtime celebration or the summertime stuff. It's a beautiful little town. When I was a kid, it was not as popular. And we owned property in the eastern Washington when I was a kid. My parents bought 3 acres of land for 1,000 American dollars of desert land. It was just tumbleweeds and rattlesnakes and piss and vinegar with no water on it. And as a kid, I helped my dad put in a lot of sweat equity into that property, namely grading it, bringing water to it, digging ditches, pulling rocks out of the ground, building an irrigation system, putting in fucking shrubbery, putting in gravel, putting a trailer on the property like an old travel trailer, building the deck for it, building a fence around it, and so me and my dad, we would constantly drive over the mountains to eastern Washington to go work on projects that he deemed to be the project. And when I was a kid, we'd stop in Leavenworth all the time because it was kind of the first spot on the other side of the mountains that would have gas and a grocery store or like a restaurant that was open or whatever, so we'd stop there quite a bit. In my late teens, I realized that you could book hotel rooms in Leavenworth like midweek really cheap back then, like late teens, early 20s. So it was a thing in my past, and I'm gonna tell you guys this in confidence, okay? So don't go telling anybody, okay?
World.
But I would book a hotel room, and then whatever nice young lady I was dating at the time, we would drive over the mountains, hang out in Leavenworth, and then hang out in Leavenworth. You know what I'm saying? Go to the swimming pool and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Go to the swimming pool. But Western Washington right now has the Bear Gulch fire, the Perry fire, the Martin fire, the Pomus fire, the Lower Sugarloaf fire, which is out of fucking control. We have the Labor Mountain fire that's out of control, the Wildcat fire, one that's not named, another one that's not named. The Rattlesnake fire is out of control. Lynx Mountain, Tacoma Creek, Crown Creek, Snow Peak, another one that's not named. We got lots of fires. And it's fucking out of control. Always, every year. We have a lot of national forest land in the United States. Yes, in the United States, but also in Washington. A lot of our mountainous areas and all that are national parks, so that you can go there if you want. You can go camp there right now if you want for free. It's undeveloped though. You can camp in the areas that are undeveloped for free. If it's a developed area, you got to pay somebody some money. What the fuck is going on with chat now? God damn, you stupid fucking app. I seriously want to punch this app in its fucking face, and whoever charges me for it, I'm going to kick them in the groin. In the dick and balls. Both of them. The dick will not be spared from the kicking, from the crotch kicking. All right, let's remove this. Then we'll have to reauthorize this app midstream to make the chat work again. So fucking stupid. Absolute fucking bullshit. I should get a full refund for ever having paid any of this money to these motherfuckers for this fucking streaming app. Fucking pieces of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you. God damn it. Okay, there we go. I got it out. It's out. 12 new fires ignite in the Cascades, but needless to say, if you look at the... Hold on. I'm just going to look up the map. Washington State map. Mapo. Whoops, I hit the O on accident. What do we look this up? National Parks... highlighted. Maybe that'll get us a map that makes fucking sense. Let's see. First, we're going to look at this map, and it's probably going to be a piece of shit. Someone's going to charge us $1 billion for even looking at it.
Make us eat crappy cookies.
We have to do involuntary butt stuff with them. You know, like, what the fuck? Does any of this shit work? We'll get the source. This map seems mildly hopeful, but I'm not 100%. I'm just going to let you guys look at it while I try to decipher this fucking chaotic shit. Okay, so if we go and we start to look at the entirety of Washington State. So anything that's mauve or whatever this color is, it's like sand colored, whatever this is. Is this mauve? Puce? This might be puce. This might be puce colored. I don't know. What is this? I was almost so arrogant as to say skin colored because it is kind of close to my skin, but then, you know, people are going to be mad. They're going to be like, you're fucking racist. Why is that your de facto skin color? What? And then I would be like, yeah, but I'm referencing my pasty fucking skin. I don't know. I didn't invent myself. I was born here and then thrown into this fucking system. This interactive map sucks. This map's not good. U.S. Forest Service is the dark green. Okay. At least that one works. Super Dayglow green is state lands, but the state owns more than that. Not just these little bits. National Park Service is the red. What is this? Banana cream colored? That's tribal lands. They haven't updated the Department of Defense they haven't updated it back to Department of War. The BLM owns this pink. Is this pink? Or is it purple? I don't. Okay, I hate this map. We're leaving this map, folks. I'm sorry. I tried to be accommodating to you guys, okay? I tried to be friendly to you guys. I tried to be friends. Now we're not friends anymore. Now we're fucking enemies for life. And I'll never let it go. I will never let it go. I'm never leaving. It's always forever. Enemies forever. And fuck, this map is so goddamn... What is this? Here we are in 2025, right? And you host a map that is this blurry. What is this? Fucking 8 pixels? What are you doing? How is it possible? On the Washington Forest Protection Association page, where you can go to learn to be a fucking forest worker. Fuck. God. I'm disappointed in humans again. You fucking sons of bitches. This is going to be one of those episodes where I just swear a lot.
Google.
Ass butt. Fucking bullshit. God damn it. 8 pixels. They can't handle the hosting fees, I guess. I don't know. We want a fucking map of Washington. Who cares? We're moving on. Never mind. Fuck you, Washington. You suck. There. We're moving on. What do you guys have to say? Moving on to something else. I don't even give a shit. We're moving on. Who gives a fuck? Tribal land. Can that be forests as well as Rocky Mountains or Sandy Highland? Yeah, I don't even know. This map is bullshit. You're right. That's why we're moving on. Oh, fires and deforestation going on? Fires. So, the thing I wanted to point out there is that national forests is it is their policy to just allow the fire to burn because that's natural until it threatens some kind of infrastructure, right?
Or they can catch migrant workers.
No, those were firefighters who were fighting a fire.
Yes,
they were migrant.
supposedly.
They're not fighting fire on national forests, is my point.
Yeah, I get you.
That's
All right,
my point I was trying to make. They go like, well, why are there so many fires? And like, well, because it's national forest. And their policy is to let it burn because that's the natural way that the forest exists. And they're trying to preserve the natural state of the forest. And if the forest is on fire and nature is doing that, then they're like, that's natural. So we just let it burn until it gets close to a city. And then there you go. Those guys the firefighters that they grabbed.
Bear Gulch, wasn't it?
They were fighting the fire. I think it was Bear Gulch, but they weren't in the national forest. They were out in the Olympics, but they were near the town. What fucking town? I can't remember now, and so I'm trying to look it up. Excuse me, I got burps now because I just drank a bunch of ice water. For Table Rock Forestry Inc. and ASI Arden Solutions, which are two firefighters. Yeah, the Bear Gulch was in. Where were they at? Where it's just fucking. Can we have a fucking location? No. No, we can't have a location. We can't have a location. We can't have just like easy fucking, you look it up. Can we do it? But the reason that they got away with it is because they're within 100 miles of the shoreline, is essentially what ICE is doing right now. So if you're within 100 miles of the border, which, by the way, the shoreline counts, right, as part of our border because it's the ocean meets the land, right? And up in the Olympics, they technically are within, all of the towns are within, I don't know, 8 feet of the ocean. Some of them are in the ocean, basically.
Built over them.
Yeah. I mean, they all have piers. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them have piers and shit, and oyster farms that go out into the water. But the way they're getting away with it is that they go, we're just operating at our border. You're like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, technically the shore is the old border. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Mickham says, let's talk about something else. All right, we got it. Message to the people. Corvus says, Washington State, let it burn. No, I never said that. I never said let it burn. I say they let it burn. The National Forest Service has essentially their own mandated policy to let the forest exist in a state, in a natural state. And so they don't fight the fires up in the national forests because of that. Technically, could we amass the money and the bodies and the airplanes and the helicopters and the tractors and the trailers and all of the stuff? Yeah, we sure as shit could. But because it's happening on the national forest land, none of the state agencies have any authority or approval to go just fuck around up there. They're not allowed to, by risk of imprisonment, essentially. Like, if it's considered, like if you just kept stepping on, it, eventually they'll charge you with a crime, which is then punishable by imprisonment. So the threat of imprisonment is essentially the thing. I'm honestly worried. 3+ years left with this leadership of yours. Feels like things going downhill. Yes, they're intentionally going downhill. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about that today is in response to this story right here. Okay, so if we listen to the Trump administration, supposedly what we're doing is we're trying to bring manufacturing back to the United States, right? That's supposedly what we're trying to do. We're putting tariffs on other countries. We are leveraging all sorts of military strikes around the world. We're threatening essentially everyone from Canada to Mexico to China to Russia to the UK to fucking Spain, whatever. Doesn't matter what country you're in, you're being threatened by the United States currently. And the threats are supposedly because we're going to bring manufacturing back to the United States. And if you aren't familiar with some of the, with a tiny company called Hyundai, right? Like this microscopic niche company called Hyundai, has promised a $350 billion investment into the United States manufacturing, into the United States manufacturing. And they started building a fucking car battery plant in Georgia. Where specifically in Georgia, I forget. We'll have to get to it here. In Ellabelle, Georgia. Now, when I say what they did, I'm giving you a summary here. I'm not ready to testify in court over what is going on. So if somebody wants to sue me over this, I'm already making the statement. You can go read the story yourself. I'm giving you the outline of what happened. On September 4th, on a battery factory under construction in sprawling Hyundai auto plant, resulted in the detainment of 475 workers, more than 300 of them South Koreans. Some were shown being shackled with chains around their hands, ankles, and waists in a video released by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Now, one thing I want you to understand about this plant that is being built in Georgia, it's not operational. And when I say it's not operational, I don't mean like the Death Star when they're like, it's not operational, right? And it's like flying around and it turns out it is operational. No. This building has been built, and these South Koreans that are direct employees of Hyundai are here to set up the factory. Because I don't know if you've ever done anything in your life before, right? You could be somebody like Donald Jerome Trump, whatever the fuck his middle name is, Donald Jackass Trump, and who's never actually had a job or worked at anything in his entire life, and wouldn't understand fundamentally that when you go to open up a business somewhere, you need some people that understand the systems in order to set it up. People that have experience in the system, people that are your current employees, so that when you go open a new branch of fucking Chick-fil-A in California or whatever, you send current Chick-fil-A employees there to go set up the restaurant, hire the new people, and train them. Same thing happens with a fucking warehouse. Any kind of new warehouse that opens up, like Amazon, they open up a new warehouse. Do you think they just hire a bunch of people and say, go work there and figure it out? Do you think that's what happens? Do you think Amazon just hires a bunch of random people off the street and go, yeah, go set up this warehouse? And the people are like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I've never worked here before. Where does the thing go? Does the thing go in the hole? Right?
How do these numbers work?
Well, they've never worked there. They don't know how the numbers work, is my point. So you send your current training staff and the people that set the manufacturing plant up, or the restaurant, or the shipping warehouse, or whatever the fuck it is, you send those people, who are all these people. These are all Hyundai employees that are setting up this new factory so that they could hire people in Georgia to work at this battery manufacturing plant that manufactures car batteries. And the president himself said the workers were here illegally, and that instead the U.S. needs to work out arrangements with countries like South Korea to bring their experts in to train U.S. citizens to do work such as battery and computer manufacturing. And by the way, it has been verified that all of these people were here on visas, on work visas, and all of their paperwork has been accomplished. And yet ICE went here, raided the place, fucking arrested all these people, put them in shackles, took them into detainment. Right? That your stupid fucking goon squad of ICE agents that you probably hired last week and didn't train with any veterans because you don't even know that this is a thing you do when you hire a new workforce, right? Clearly. They can't even figure out the paperwork of who they're trying to get. If U.S. authorities detain hundreds of Koreans in this manner, almost like a military operation, how can South Korean companies investing in the U.S. continue to invest properly in the future? Said Cho Jong-sik, a lawmaker from the liberal governing Democratic Party. Another lawmaker, Kim Gi-hyun, from the conservative opposition People Power Party, said this is unacceptable, or that the unacceptable raid dealt South Korea a severe blow that will be difficult to heal. Some lawmakers even called for the government to retaliate by investigating Americans who are alleged to work illegally in South Korea. Because now we're going to start getting a tit-for-tat situation where there's going to be Americans just wandering around in South Korea doing their thing and get thrown in jail there. Seoul has expressed regret over the raid, but experts say it won't likely take any major tit-for-tat measures given the country's security dependence on U.S. in deterring potential North Korean aggressions and other spheres of cooperation between the two countries. But here's what will really happen. Mark my words. This battery factory that was supposed to bring back jobs, manufacturing jobs to the United States. And by the way, this is actually a company that is making good on their promise to make investments into the United States. They will now do the thing that a lot of the other bullshit investment deals that Trump claims to have been touting will just go on hold once again. They will just go ahead and delay it and go, well, we can't afford to operate this way. We can't afford to pay all these people while they're arrested and put into detainment by the foreign government that we're supposedly working side by side with and doing all the paperwork that they said that we're supposed to do.
Yeah. It wasn't just Hyundai. Isn't that also being built as an LG plant?
What's that?
Said, isn't that also being built as an LG plant, which has a much larger stake than Hyundai?
I don't know. I mean, we could go find out if we want, but this is what's I don't care. I mean, I know Hyundai is behind this plant. I'm saying I don't care. What I am saying that I do care about is that these companies, if you want this manufacturing to be here, and you're now literally talking out of the side of your mouth and sending your fucking goons out to arrest these people and detain them for doing the thing that you said that you wanted. I'm saying this is more indicative of the fact that they are absolutely lying about what they say they're trying to do, like bring manufacturing back to the United States. This is not what they're doing. They are training a fucking goon squad force to go around and attack people and create fear in the country. That's what they're doing. That is their main thing. Collapse the U.S. dollar, collapse the country, create total chaos, create total animosity against all of our armed forces, right? So that you end up having essentially what they are wanting is a civil war, right? Because there isn't realistically going to be a way where you continue to escalate with this type of behavior, right here. You continue to escalate this lawless fucking behavior. You have masked fucking goons running around that won't even identify themselves. They won't identify their badge number. They probably don't have a badge number. And they're trying to incentivize a civil war to essentially collapse the U.S. system. I mean, you would need to explain to me why they want to deeply invest their own personal fucking wealth into cryptocurrency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they want to be doing that? If you're supposedly a good president and you want to invest all of your wealth into a cryptocurrency, unbacked, untraceable, supposed currency, right? Why would you want to be deeply personally investing in that and then be like, oh, I'm advocating for the American people? It's like you aren't advocating for the American people. You're advocating for cryptocurrency, right? You're advocating for fucking backroom deals. You're advocating for taking airplanes from fucking other countries as gifts, right? And in the meantime, this is what the administration is up to. This kind of shit, nonstop. And like I said, I don't want a civil war. I don't want to be involved in it. I don't want that to be experienced or befall anybody. It's ridiculous. Because it's, like I said earlier, it's the same kind of perception. Because, like I said, Donald Trump has never built anything himself. He's never set up a business. He's never worked a day in his life. Doesn't understand anything about business. He's a fucking idiot. He's a rich kid that was gifted a whole bunch of money from his dad. And supposedly they want to bring back manufacturing, but this is what they're doing. So it's like, should I believe what you say or should I believe what you do? Right? You know, anytime you're in an abusive relationship in your life, you find yourself in some kind of abusive relationship and you're like, well, should I listen to their words or should I listen to their actions? Right? Well, I'm listening to the actions. I'm not listening to the words. You can get up and you can tell me how much you love me and how much it's never going to happen again and how much I only do this for the better good, blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, this is the same shit that abusive people do, right? Where they say one thing and then they do something else. And then you're like, which part do I believe? Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know which part I'm supposed to believe here, right? Believe their actions, and the actions completely betray the things that they're saying at this point. By the way, a Californian company just bought an infamous battery manufacturing facility here in the north of Sweden. Lighton Incorporated Corp bought Northvolt. Lighton 6 declared insolvent by Canadian court. I don't even know what that's about. Lighton 6. I guess we'll look it up. Mikam is hot in the chat today, so I'm going to respond. If you want me to respond to your comments, you have to make them. Lighton 6 refers to Northvolt 6, a large partially built battery manufacturing facility in Quebec, Canada, that Lighton, a super material applications company, plans to acquire from the bankrupt Northvolt. Lighton intends to convert the site into a dual chemistry facility producing both lithium-ion and lithium-sulfur batteries, which are central to Lighton's business model for lighter, lower-cost energy storage solutions. The acquisition would significantly boost Lighton's production capabilities by leveraging existing infrastructure. Lighton 6 is the planned acquisition of Northvolt's partially constructed 15-gigawatt battery manufacturing facility in Quebec. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I don't want to sign in. Nope, I don't want to sign into your website. That's fucking weird. The rise of secondhand battery assets in the post-Northvolt era. Yeah, I don't... I mean, I would have to look into this more to know what... I mean, to even have an idea of what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Was it... I mean, I don't know. Every comment on this is from is talking about Tesla. I'm not 100%. I don't know why this is. I mean, I don't know. I suppose that if it's bad, I guess, or good, or I don't know, I'm sort of indifferent. I would have to look into like if there was some kind of problem, but I don't know. Did I fall out of Discord? No, I'm in Discord. Huh. May have been swearing too much. Oh, maybe I got banned. I don't know. I got Discord's not working at this moment. I don't know why. It's broken. Yeah, they want a civil war until it happens, then they'll be the victims. Yeah, ultimately that is like I said, I mean realistically that's where a lot of these guys' heads are at. That I'm out from all Discord currently. I don't know why. Let me see if it's my computer. Yeah, it's just my computer. Hello? Oh, wait, I think my headphones are on somewhere. Hello? 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 I think I hear my dog barking. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Discord's fucked up right now. You know what's interesting? Most streamers and channels I can watch with picture-in-picture with no problems. Yours, no. I have to try multiple times to do that. No, actually, the thing is, like, YouTube is having problems with the picture-in-picture for live streams. I don't know why. I don't know why that is the case. But it has been the case recently over the last... I think it's over the last, like, month, and it's because, from my understanding, from the release that they put out, it has to do with the scaling issue between vertical and horizontal. Jesus. Lucy, what are you doing? Go inside. Hey, inside. Come on. Inside. Get. Go and get. Something just went. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. What was that? Oh, I think it was my phone. I got a message. Oh, shit. We're back. We're back in the green room. Does it work? Hello? I don't know. I'm in here. So maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. My phone went doodle-doo-doo-doo. I don't know. Discord's being weird. They'll probably fix it. Or they won't. Who knows? I had to go fix my dog. My dog was freaking out and being crazy. Yeah, everything's set to correct. So I don't know why Discord's not working right now. It's fucked up. Something happened. Recap Harris says there is a Discord issue right now. You're not the only one affected. That's right. That's right. I did read that. Mickham says avoiding taxes. Crypto is hard to audit. Yes, crypto is hard to audit. It's hard to know where the deposits come from. So you could pretty readily take in $1 billion from somewhere, and it's just sitting in there. I made rice and have most of the ingredients for fried rice. What else should I pick up? We'll be at Girl Scouts. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Big Pedro says, Internet, I've been away for a while. Where are the fishes and shrimps and plants? I don't know. Over there somewhere. I don't know. The fishes and shrimps and plants are somewhere. Catch you later, peeps. Got to go back to training from Just Skogs. Training? Oh, my God. Just imagine the training. It's thick. From what I've seen, you have some amazing nature, but it's a huge state. So West Coast is totally different from the East, I understand. I mean, the reality is that the United States is pretty big, realistically. It's a pretty big country with a lot of people in it. I think we're the third most populous country in the world, and the third biggest landmass? Land mass and let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it. Russia's number 1. Number 2 is somewhere. Canada. Number 2 is Canada. 3, 4 is the United States and China. They're tied, essentially. 6 is Australia. 5 is Brazil. Yeah. And then everything else after that. So, India's 7th, and then kind of everything after India starts to cluster up into big groups. And then population. Yeah, United States and China is essentially the same landmass. They're both 9.5 million square kilometers. Canada's 9.9. Russia is 17 million square kilometers. Where's the population? I think the population list is down here. No. Nope. You won't get that. Gotta get a whole different thing. Gotta find a whole different list. Pop. I think I get it. I don't think I get it. Do. Yeah, the United States is third most populous country in the world, but way pale in comparison to the combination of India and China. India and China combined have 35% of the world's population, and the United States has 4.1%. At 340 million humans. Did I see the comments? Did you see the moments from DJT about wasting time DV calls? Okay, I'm confused by the comment, but I think I know what you're talking about. Essentially, Donald Trump was talking about how domestic violence calls are just not a big deal. In relation to his like fighting crime, right? Yeah, in speech about religious freedom, Trump downplays domestic violence. Where is his... Yeah, they said crime's down 87%. I said, no, it's more than 87%, virtually nothing. And much lesser things that take place in the home they call crime. You know, they'll do anything they can to find something. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say this was a crime. See? So now I can't complain 100%, but we are a safe city, Trump said. Because of the deployment of the National Guard. Because the deployment of federal troops into the city, it's somehow a safe city now. But because people are saying that there's domestic violence calls, you know, they get in a little fight with their wife, which is weird because... Like, look, if you get in an argument with your wife because you left the dome lights on in your car and the battery died, or you didn't change the roll of toilet paper in the bathroom, or you didn't take out the clean dishes out of the dishwasher, and because you didn't load it, it was, you know, you're supposed to empty it. Because generally, like, when you're in a partnership with somebody, you split responsibilities with certain things, and like one of those things would be like I filled the dishwasher, like I gathered up all the dishes and then I put them all in the dishwasher, and then, you know, my spouse would be like, oh, I'll empty the dishwasher and I'll put away the dishes, right? Like if you get in a little argument about that, that's, you know, well, that's all I'm talking about. But like apparently, like, you know, just a little fight, like where you just start punching each other, like, you know, they'll say this was a crime, and it's like, well, yeah, that is a crime. You know, putting your hands on somebody is a crime, you know? So, yeah, so when somebody would characterize that as a crime, then they would be accurate, you know? The president's comments were part of a speech he delivered in the Religious Liberty Commission's meeting in the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C., which the Museum of the Bible, I just went right past it. I didn't even want to go in there. What a waste of fucking... What a waste. What an abject waste of dollars. Whoever's spending them, you're wasting your money. A national survey by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention found that 4 in 10 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced physical or sexual violence or stalking by an intimate partner. Yeah. So let's just all ignore that because Donald Trump sent federal troops into the streets of Washington, D.C., and as we saw reported time and time again, what they actually were doing was spreading beauty bark and cleaning up garbage and stuff off of the roads. So they were just a glorified maintenance crew because the Trump administration had fired the maintenance crew, like 200 of the 250 employees of the grounds maintenance for like the National Mall. And guess what? They can't keep up with it. So then there's garbage on the ground. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But where are the Epstein files? Where was the guy caught on camera? Undercover camera Epstein files date guy. Somebody in the Justice Department was Joseph Schnitt, an acting deputy chief of the Department of Justice, was recorded on a hidden camera by James O'Keefe's far-right media group after meeting a woman named Skylar on the dating app Hinge. In the video released in early September 2025, Schnitt claimed the government planned to redact Republicans from the sealed Jeffrey Epstein files. Which is crazy that this administration is so dim-witted to supposedly get caught by James O'Keefe doing something. Now, anything that ever comes out from James O'Keefe, I don't believe, because this guy's a grifter fuck and piece of shit. And I don't believe it. So I'm wondering if it's just a staged thing or something, but it's hard to say because that guy's actually in the administration, that Joseph Schnitt guy. I'm going to try this one more time. Let me join this. Hello? Does this work now? No. I'm going to close it. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, it's that one. Which one is it? Am I back in the green room even though I hung up? Hello? Does this work? Disconnect. How'd the call go? Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Oh my God. Let's try it again. Hello? Is this broken? I think this is broken today. I gotta yell at my dog again. Lucy! Hey! Would you get inside, you son of a bitch? What are you doing? Get inside! Hold on. Get inside. Oh, dog was freaking out. I don't know what she was freaking out about, but I picked her up and then she was like, oh, I gotta jump. Well, now you're not freaked out at all. We got small dog here. Hold on. Gotta bring the dog part. Small dog. Small dog. Can you say hello? Hello. Say hello to people. Hello, YouTube. My name is Lucy Lou. Do 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 do. She's like freaked out. Like, oh my god, you guys don't understand. There was somebody out there, and they had a dog with them, and it freaked me out. Do 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 do. We got this dog from a Mexican guy. Did you know that? She's a cutie. She's a cutie, but she's so weird. She is a weird little doggo, I'm going to be honest. So. Can't type in the tablet. Oh. The president calling a mayor of a large city to tell them to ask for federal help is unheard of over here. Just a madman in action. That's completely unheard of here. So to be clear, like that is absolutely abjectly bizarro that any of this would be happening here. It's crazy. As it seems, the citizens of this globe will never stop hearing weird ideas from crazy ones with power. Yeah, generally speaking. I mean, like one of the biggest issues is that you send in national troops, like they have zero training to do any kind of policing. There is the military police in the military, which is a tiny, tiny group within the military. Like it is a very small group of people within the military that have any kind of police training within the military. And anyone from the military is not authorized to they're not authorized to detain anybody in the states. They're not allowed to do that, and they're not even trained to do detainments, right? As we saw with the random boat off of the shores of Venezuela, we just decided to send the Marines in, and instead of just capturing them, they just blew it up. So apparently 11 people are dead because the Trump administration has decided to declare war on Venezuela. Lay off her cultural differences. She's just a little thing. She's a weird dog. She's a bit of a weirdo, but we love her. So, I mean, I give her a hard time. But occasionally, somebody will walk like another dog or something down the road, and she gets really protective. So far, she hangs out with our other dog all the time, no problem. But other strange dogs freak her out. So we're trying to socialize her more with other dogs, but she just has a tendency to try to attack them. And she's small, so it's not a great feature to have. You want to be a small dog, and then you want to attack other big ass dogs, like the 90-pound puppy that comes here and visits. Not a great idea. She could be a little bigger than snack size. I think how heavy are you now, Lucy? Let's see. She may be like a 15-pounder. Are you like a 15-pounder now? Are you like a 15-pounder? Oh, you're like a 15-pounder. Little lap dog. But she always wants to snuggle. She always wants to snuggle. She will jump up on your lap and snuggle up into your neck. Good dog. But she's a little confused about the world. You want to hang out? You going swimming? You going to jump in a fish tank? You want to go outside? Okay, I'll let you out. Come on. Here you go. Go get him. Attack! Vance and his comments on war crimes.
War crimes. Welcome back.
What happened? What are you doing?
I was trying to type and then I could hear you, so I stopped trying to type.
Ah, war crimes. I thought you just had an accent. I just thought you. I just thought you had a Boston accent. War crimes.
The war crimes. Yes, poisoning people should be our highest military goal. Bullshit.
J.D. Vance hit a new low while attempting to defend a deadly extrajudicial military strike in an alleged drug boat. And even Republicans are noticing. Vance, who's known for his emotional outbursts both online and off, has once again demonstrated he can't take any amount of criticism. Killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military, Vance wrote on X Saturday morning, which, by the way, actually write this out is fucking insane. Referring to the president's strike on a boat in international waters last week, the government has claimed the strike killed 11 members of Trendearagua gang who were bringing drugs into the United States, which is just a fucking insane statement to make, because we regularly intercept boats that are drug smugglers. We regularly intercept them. We don't shoot them in the water. We intercept them. We arrest them. We find evidence on the boat for what crime we're going to charge them with, and then we do that all the time. That's not rare. We do that every day. If there's a boat, what's that?
Said, ladies and gentlemen, Miami Vice.
Yeah, and wear the white blazer and a pink shirt
and loafers with no.
Brian Krasenstein, a political podcaster and social media influencer critical of Trump, stepped in to remind Vance that the government hadn't provided any actual evidence to support the claim they were Trendearagua members. If it wasn't true, it wouldn't be the first time. Then he wrote, killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime, he wrote. I don't give a shit what you call it, Vance replied. What Vance might have imagined as a defiant mic drop moment betrayed his disturbing willingness to ignore federal and international law to commit executions. Republican Senator Rand Paul slammed Vance's statement. JD, I don't give a shit, Vance says killing people he accuses of a crime is the highest and best use of the military. Did he ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? Paul wrote on a post. What?
He said when Rand Paul calls you out.
Yeah, when Rand Paul calls you out, you're fucked. He also said, did he ever wonder what might happen if the accused were immediately executed without trial or representation? What a despicable and thoughtless sentiment it is to glorify killing someone without a trial. Vance's comment was particularly disturbing in light of remarks from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who imagines that he has absolute authority to commit acts of war against nations Congress has not declared war against, which this is, like I said, they're pushing to create a civil war. That's what they want. They want to collapse the United States system. They want to collapse the United States. That is the goal of these fucking goons. I am telling you, that is their goal, right? They don't have any other, objectifiable goal. They want to collapse the system, create civil war, take power even further, and that essentially just rewrite the Constitution. And this is de facto a gigantic problem. Like, this is a horrendous problem. They're committing war crimes. They're committing crimes against the U.S. public writ large. They're committing crimes that the court is overturning on a regular basis, like the fact that Donald Trump lied and said, I have the ability to apply tariffs whenever I want. That recently has been overturned, and he's hoping that the Supreme Court is going to
set aside that appeal.
Like, inflation is off the fucking charts right now. I think it went up a full 2 points last month. Gasoline went up 30 cents a gallon on Thursday. From Thursday to Friday, it went up 30 cents a gallon. Why does this only give us yesterday and today?
Internet that is broken, not just Discord.
$0.30 over a year ago, and it went up 30 cents from last week to this week. Just fucking crazy. It's up to $4.16 a gallon now. Fuck. It was at $3.79 just the other day.
Yeah.
The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit Court upheld the lower court's decision in a 7-4 vote, finding the tariffs invalid. So the funny thing is that the IEEPA grants the president the authority to apply tariffs for a 30-day period in the state of an emergency, and it's actually in the name of the bill. International Emergency Economic Powers Act. It allows you to do that. That doesn't mean that you can just apply tariffs whenever you want, however you want, with whatever, like, insane fucking craziness that you just feel like, or like this insane metric that they did where they clearly just asked ChatGPT to write up a thing for them about what the tariff should be, because economically, like, it doesn't work this way. You don't just apply a tariff and then see what happens, because as we saw 2 weeks ago, Modi, Xi, Putin, and North Korea guy, fucking Rocket Man, whatever his name is, they all have like a bilateral agreement now, and they recently liquefied natural gas pipeline from Russia to China. I'm not a fucking robot. Get fucked. The China-Russia pipeline, as we found out yesterday, actually, it's actually even sooner than I thought. I thought this was like a week ago. Feels like a week ago. The long-delayed Power of Siberia 2 pipeline between Russia and China would create a structural shock if it begins operations, analysts said, and cause strategic and market challenges for the United States, the world's current largest liquefied natural gas exporter. While President Xi Jinping and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin stood shoulder to shoulder at last week's Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, Gazprom CEO Alexei Miller was quoted as saying the Russian oil giant and China National Petroleum Corporation has signed a memorandum of understanding to build the Power of Siberia 2 and the Soyuz Vostok transit pipeline through Mongolia. And we've lost chat again because this fucking streaming app sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It really, really sucks. I don't know why it sucks so bad. Cool. I guess we'll have to do it again here. We'll do it again during the stream. Thank you so very much, you piece of shit fucking program. We shall remove authorization. Then we'll go back to authorize again. I need to find a different stream app. Fucking seriously. Where were we? An overland supply is not the cheaper, but also it is not only cheaper but also more secure. Trillo Figueroa added, which would help China bypass checkpoints or bypass choke points and insulate itself from global price swings. The U.S. equivalent $13.6 billion pipeline project in discussion since 2006, but put on hold multiple times, has become even more crucial to Russia since its invasion of Ukraine in 2022. After heavy sanctions were levied on Moscow by the U.S. and much of Europe, China has emerged as a large alternative market. Talks were revived after the war began, but unresolved questions such as pricing and the pipeline route could mean a protracted period of negotiations. Chinese officials, despite repeated claims of progress by Russia media outlets, have provided no confirmation of substantial steps forward. The country's total LNG, liquefied natural gas, imports for this year have been projected to drop 6% to 11% by industry news portal oilprice.com. But Chim Lee, a senior analyst at the Economist Intelligence Unit, said the opening of the Power of Siberia 2 could mean as much as half of China's imported natural gas will come from Russia, with the final figure dependent on Beijing's production and demand growth. The Power of Siberia 2 could take longer to be built than the 10 years required to construct its predecessor, the Power of Siberia 1, analysts said. But the U.S., while not a major liquid natural gas supplier to China, would feel an impact as long as the second pipeline eventually becomes operational. Completion of the pipeline would present strategic and market challenges for the U.S., said Genevieve Donnellan May, a non-resident fellow at the Pacific Forum of Research at Oxford Global Society. So, this is just another example of Trump's absolute fucking failure of understanding the global trade markets or global trade relationships, in the fact that we export a ton of liquid natural gas from the United States to around the world. And if you wanted to stop Russia's ability to continue fueling these fucking conflicts while they invade other countries, one of the things that you would want to do is exist in the liquid natural gas market so that the Russians aren't able to export as much liquid natural gas to fuel their fucking war machine. But Donald Trump doesn't think about any of this shit because he just lies constantly about things like saying he would end the war on day one. And then when you talk to Trump supporters, they say, well, that's just hyperbole. Like, he was just saying that. Like, what do you mean, you believe him? And it's like, they're living in a fucking insane cloud of absolute fucking denial about who this character is in American history, right? Like, someone who just gets up and lies regularly, frequently, and nonstop about what is going on. Claims to not know what Project 2025 was, and yet his administration is filled with Project 2025 authors, sponsors, and people involved in that organization. The appointees that he's put into the Supreme Court are from the Heritage Foundation. Like, this is, all I'm trying to do is piece together the puzzle pieces of like what they're doing, and then what I can do as a proud American. What can I do, right? And one of the things that I do is speak out regularly about this stuff. I want people to understand that they are not alone, and you are firmly in the majority if you oppose this insanity. You are firmly in the majority. It's not even close. Like, we've gone over on this stream a million times where somebody says, well, half the country voted for Donald Trump, which isn't even accurate. It's not even an accurate number. We don't even have 100% of the voting population voting. Right? We have 40% of the voting population just doesn't vote at all. Right? So you have to immediately take out that 40%. And 51%, what was it, 50 point something percent DJT versus Kamala voting results. Like, he won the popular vote by like 0.2% or something.
To 39 or something
Nope.
along those lines.
Kamala Harris got 48.34%. Donald Trump got 49.81%. And others got 1.85%. So Donald Trump didn't even get 50% of the total votes cast. Donald Trump got 49.81% of the total votes cast. He didn't even get over 50% of the total votes cast. Did he win the popular vote? Yes. By whatever this, what is that? 2 million votes, right?
Sounds like a lot until you look at the actual number of Americans, and then not so much.
No, what I'm saying is like he only got 49.8% of the actual people that voted.
Right.
Which, by the way, I still am firmly in the camp of this. The legitimacy of this election is very much in question in my mind. Looking at the voter registries and the analytics done around that, there are all these weird districts in like Pennsylvania and Michigan, Indiana. There's a bunch of weird ones in Illinois, but they didn't manage to get it over the line. There's a bunch of weird ones in Texas. There's a bunch of weird ones in Florida.
I thought there were some in New York as well.
There's a bunch of weird ones in New York too, but yeah, and there's all these weird voter records that are there where tons of people voted all Democrat and then just didn't vote for a president at all somehow. To a percentage that is like doesn't make any sense, right? Like there were counties in New York where all these people voted, and in the primary, Kamala Harris got like 80% of the primary votes, and then in the presidential election, somehow Kamala Harris got 0% of votes in that county, right? And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, and that's all problems. I don't know what's going on. My spouse is texting me a bunch of random shit. So, but it's after 4:00. So I'll catch up on the chat here real quick, and then we got to go. $4.19 a gallon? Question mark? Yeah. It is. They believe they have the right to do so, supported by their God. Yes, that's the problem. Anti-K's Tarot says, I don't believe democracy is real on stolen land. It's just white majority rule. You know, like as somebody who my spouse is native and my daughter is native, and they both are native corporation card holders, I can understand like people's anger at the stolen land shit and whatnot. I fully don't believe it is a useful conversation at this point. If you want to support natives, if you want to support other minority groups in this country, the only function that you should be supporting is democracy. Democratic institutions, and that doesn't mean like the Democratic Party. I mean democratic institutions, the Constitution, expanding the Constitution, expanding voter rights, expanding ability to vote, expanding democracy is the only viable solution that we currently have as a human race in order to solidify the standing of average humans in this world. Period. End of story. There is no other system. There's no other system that is able to do that. I'm Lakota card holding, but you sound like my white dad too. What? Okay, let me hold on a second here. Because you seem fucking angry about something, why don't you go ahead and write me an email about your full proposal of what you think should happen? Anti-K. What would be a resolution? What would be a resolution that you find acceptable? Should everyone just kill themselves? Should everyone should whoever go back to Europe or something? Should we all give all of our money to Elon Musk so that we could go to Mars or something? Like, if you have like a completely unreasonable stance in life, you're only going to get hit back with people being unreasonable, right? I wasn't crafted. I didn't appoint myself to be white. I didn't appoint myself to be this way. I was born in the United States. I'm an accepting person. I work to build my fucking community. If you want me to somehow right the wrongs of some other white people from a fucking 300 years ago, what do you want me to do? What? And now you say that's a straw man. Okay, cool. We're in this bullshit conversation with some dipshit and anonymous person on the fucking internet. It's a waste of time. Recap Harris says the reality is there's no going back. So you have to find a way to move forward for the betterment of all, which is what I fully fucking support. Now, my spouse and my daughter are Native Corporation of Alaska members. Talked about this a bunch on the live stream before. And guess who is their biggest opposition for existing in this country? Their biggest opposition is, guess who?
Orange.
What?
Orange Boy.
No.
Donald. No.
No. Washington State natives.
Oh.
Washington State natives who are consistently attempting to attack and disband the Alaska Native corporations. They're doing everything in their power to fight against the Alaska Native corporations, right? And so, and having gone to the annual meeting every year and having to deal with the dramatic fucking bullshit that comes from the natives fighting with each other for no good fucking reason, right? Mainly because, and by the way, this all surrounds COVID, right? And the fact that the Alaska Native corporations were trying to get federal COVID money to help the natives within the corporation. But, you know, it is what it is. You're the one suggesting unreasonable stances. Decolonization is not unreasonable. Oh my God. So it's unreasonable for somebody. It's unreasonable for somebody to get a time machine and go back in time and somehow like resolve some shit that happened 300 years ago. But it's not unreasonable for you to be a decolonizer right now, right? It's fucking ridiculous. This is why white parents are toxic. I didn't realize you were a white parent of indigenous children, or I would have expected a toxic response.
Wow.
Wow. I would say that, like, fully from this conversation, the person that is extraordinarily toxic is you. You're the person that has called out my race. You're the person that has called out like I'm unreasonable. You're the person that has said you don't believe in democracy, and that everything is just white majority rule, right? I don't know what you're angry about. I personally don't know what you're angry about. And maybe you should work within your community to try and resolve those issues, right? Let's see. Do you have any content up that maybe we could get a better idea of what you're about? You have a video of you shuffling tarot cards.
Yeah, I got.
It's time to talk about Pixie. My tips for making Grimoire so you'll use it. Propaganda and Global North. Descent into idiocy. A different kind of ethics talk for psychics and witches. Divination is best understood in a polytheistic worldview. Posted yesterday. Oh, we had a school lockdown again. Awesome. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll look into this, but I don't even know. Like, is there even a purpose? Yeah, either way. It's after 4 o'clock, and I've got shit to do, so I'm going to go do it.
Go do shit.
Taking Canada by force doesn't sound like decolonization to me. Yeah. All right.